Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Black Camera once again. Before we get started, like always, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and go ahead, leave a comment down below saying what's up. I greatly appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and get into the spoilers of Strixhaven today. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump straight into it because I'm pretty sure you guys already seen like 2-3 videos before I finally put this out. But it's cool, like my motto that I just made up like 10 minutes ago is, it says, if Hammer doesn't approve it, then yo ass shouldn't use it. So I might get that as a t-shirt though, for real. But let's go ahead and start off. It's kind of random because the program that I'm using didn't allow me to kind of put them in order. So whatever shows up right here, we're going to talk about. So this is, I believe, I don't want to say the first double-sided Planeswalker, but this is actually quite interesting. Once again, we have the brother and sister duo. The last card of these two, they were at, 2-in-1, which it was cool. It wasn't, no groundbreaking type card, but this one right here is pretty interesting. And we all know by now that this new set is going to be revolving around instants and sorceries type cards. So let's go ahead and start with Ronin, Scholar of Spark. It's a 3-drop Planeswalker, legendary of course, and instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Now for a 3-drop, that's pretty good because you're really gonna start playing your bigger instant sorcery speeds after like turn 4 or turn 5. That's where all the juiciness is. Of course, like your 1-drop, 2-drops, you can pay for that, but anything 3 or more, you definitely want to get that a reduction. So I think for this to be a 3-drop, it's actually pretty good. Comes in with 2 loyalty, which is not good because with Bolt coming back and Shock already there and Frostbite and everything else, 2 loyalty is going to be interesting to see if you can even keep this on the board, to be honest. So you can go ahead and +1, and it says this Planeswalker deals 1 damage to each opponent. If you drawn 3 or more cards this turn, she deals 3 damage to each opponent instead. Now that's decent. Drawing 3 cards, I'm not sure if that's like drawing 2 cards. Cool, I understand that, but drawing 3, maybe I need to see the other instants and sorceries that's coming along with this set. But that's asking for a lot for the +1 to actually mean something. The -4 says you get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may pay 2. If you do, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that spell. Now, once again, you got to keep this on the board alive, and her +1 doesn't really allow herself, like, protect herself in any way, shape, or form, unless your opponent has 2 life, and then you're just gonna win the game at that point. But then you got to pay on top of that. I don't know, like they could have made it cost 1, and then it would have been something to talk about, but I think that's pretty mediocre. I will only play Rowan, that half of the Planeswalker, only to get my instants and sorcery speeds after I play cheaper. Other than that, +1 doing 1 damage, maybe 3 if I have the right cards in my hand, then yeah. But let's go to her brother. I'm not sure if it's a big brother. He look about 35, 36. Mr. Will Smith, Scholar of Frost. It's a 5-drop, which is asking a lot already. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less, and you can play both because they're different names. The +1 ability says up to 1 target creature has base power and toughness of 2 until your next turn. That's pretty good. Like I said, Bolt is coming back, Shock is still a thing. So if you can turn a questing beast, or I'm not sure if that's rotating out, but if you can turn someone with a toughness of 6 into a 0/2 and go ahead and shock that, bro, that's actually pretty decent. A -3 says draw 2 cards. That actually helps his little sister. So I guess the -3. I don't know if you want to put Mr. Will in a vulnerable position and have 1 loyalty, but if you got to draw cards, do your thing. -7, exile up to 5 target permanents. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Now, if you want to exile your own 5 permanents, cool. If you got a bunch of tokens, I guess you can, throw it out like that, or exile 5 permanents of your opponents and just give them a 4/4. Like, that's, I don't know if you want to deal with a 4/4, but that is up to you, is giving you the option. So it's pretty decent. Let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Oh shoot, all up in my face. Then we have Duress, Lightning Bolt, and Time Warp. This one right here, I just really love the art. Like, I mean, the cards is good. Duress is still gonna be around, obviously, but just the art, bro, like that alone is gonna be worth some money. But of course, we know Duress. Lightning Bolt is coming back with a vengeance. It's a 1-drop red, instant speed. Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage to any target, and to me, that's probably my favorite key text, any target. So you can just imagine the craziness that this is going to bring. Now people already complain like, oh, that card dies to shock, or oh, blah blah blah. Like, now there's a 1-drop that does 3 damage. That's it. It's gonna make creatures even more vulnerable. So then we got Time Warp. It's a 5-drop sorcery speed. It says target player takes an extra turn after this. So costing 5, bro, like, and it's already a lot of cards, especially in historic, that allows you to take an extra turn. So I can just imagine this just being one of those extra cards to be annoying. Then we got all this right here. It's more dual lands. This one right here in particular is going to make some of the pathways a little harder to play because they're not specifically forest lands, for example. But this one right here, for example, says when this land enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or an Izzle from your hand. If you don't, it comes into the battlefield tap. So if you have pathways, those aren't considered like a forest. It's just a land. So I mean, these are still cool. It's just gonna make pathways just a little bit more harder to play, and this might just take a spot. Let's go ahead and hide that. Boom, there it is. We got some full screen right here. So this is Egma Sage. It's a 3-drop legendary planeswalker, comes in with 2 loyalty. If you're part of the Facebook group, I already kind of mentioned how I feel about this card. I just need to see more from the set. You can tick it up to scry 1. That's already kind of whack. If you can scry 2 or 3, cool. But I mean, scrying and you have to pay 3, I wouldn't play this on curve. Or you can -X, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it. So you can pay 3 and get a 1/1. I guess it'll kind of protect it, but then it's going to be 1 loyalty. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but it's not going to be nothing that's going to take over standard, obviously. Then you can -8, and it says search your library for an instant or sorcery card that shares a color with this planeswalker. Exile that card, then shuffle it. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Now that is a big deal. So if you have the cards around this and to support it, that'll be awesome. But I don't know if you want to go through all that hassle to get that -8. And I did forget to mention this passive ability right here. It says each other planeswalker you control has the loyalty abilities of this planeswalker. So I guess cool, but once again, we're gonna have to kind of see when some other cards are revealed. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. We have Professor Onyx, aka Liliana, and I'm pretty sure the lore is going to be crazy because for some reason she doesn't want to be called Liliana. I get it, I guess. It's a 6-drop, which is Liliana, like she's a 6-drop it seems, and it has a new mechanic in Magic, and that's Mage Craft. And it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So for a 6-drop and you're going to be casting or copying instants or sorceries, probably does cost a little bit, but I mean I'm not the smartest Magic player out there, so I'm pretty sure somebody can make this work. But the +1, it comes in with 5 loyalty, and the +1 is you lose 1 life, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. So this will help those graveyard decks that people like to dig into and cast later. That would definitely help for sure. Then the -3, each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power amongst creatures that players control. So that ability will help Tigrid, the God of Fright. That costs 5. So that actually plays on curve. Play this on turn 6, -3. You get the biggest creature on their side of the field. Unless it's a token, then you don't get that. And then -8 says each opponent may discard a card. I don't understand that. Each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, if they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. So once again, that will help. That's gonna help Tigrid way too much. And then you got to repeat that process 6 more times. So unless your opponent has 6 cards in hand or they got plenty of life, they're going to be in some trouble there. Then we got Dragon's Guard Elite. Once again, this is the Magecraft mechanic. This is a 2-drop for a 2/2. Once again, I'm not going to keep saying it, but creatures with toughness 3 or lower, especially with this being like more focused on instance and sorcery speed type cards, creatures with toughness 3 or less is going to really have a hard time in standard. But you know, they're giving us these cards. So this one, it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. You may pay 6, double the number of +1/+1 counters on this creature. So unless you can do some crazy shenanigans before your opponent can bolt the hell out of this, it's a decent card. I love the art, actually. Really cool. I mean, whoever did this is amazing, you know. But the toughness, I don't know, bro. I can already hear people complaining about that. So let's go to the next one here. We have Archmage Emithyrus. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a 4-drop 2/2. Once again with these 2/2s, and it's a 4-drop, so I don't know if it's gonna see too much play. But it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. So if you can keep it on the field, good job. Go ahead, draw yourself a card. Then we got Eager First Year. It's a 2-drop 2/2, and it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +1/+0 until the end of turn. I don't think it's gonna see much play. It's probably more of a drafting card. Other than that, it's definitely not standard. Then we got Professor Symbiology. It's a 2-drop 2/1, and here's another mechanic, which once again I wish I could have managed the shuffler here, but it says when this creature enters the battlefield, learn. So and the learn ability says you may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game. So it's not any card, it has to be a lesson card from outside the game, and put it into your hand or discard a card to draw a card. So I'm glad it allows you to discard a card to draw a card, because sometimes you ain't got no lesson to learn. I guess that's a slick way to say it, but I think that's pretty cool. And it's a cleric, so that works. Now here is the lesson card. So this is kind of something, you see the symbol at the top left corner. This is a 3-drop sorcery speed lesson and black green, so that's pretty cool. And it says create 2/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with, when this creature dies you gain 1 life. So that's pretty cool. I actually do like the art. I wish I would actually have a pet like that. That's actually pretty tight. But I mean, I'm kind of actually eager to see what other lessons to be learned. That was kind of corny. And we have pop quiz. It's a 3-drop instant speed, draw a card with learn. So this will kind of definitely help control builds. Play this on like turn 6, pay 3 mana, go ahead, draw a card, draw your land. You got 4 lands now. Pull a learn from your sideboard, and then boom, do some crazy shenanigans. So that actually, I think it's pretty cool. If there is a board wipe, that's a lesson. That's, bro, that's game over. Then we got confront the past. Once again, we have Liliana confronting her past because that's what the card says. It's a sorcery lesson, and it's an X and swamp, and it says choose one. Return target planeswalker card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's actually pretty good. Or you can choose to remove twice X loyalty counters from a target planeswalker or an opponent controls. So this is actually a pretty good lesson to have in a sideboard, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of 3 and up planeswalkers. So this will easily be a planeswalker killer. So I like it. Then we got Lorehold Apprentice. Is Boros colors, and it's a cleric. That's pretty tight. And it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell until end of turn, spirit creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. Now, I don't know how to feel about that. Is spirits gonna be a thing? I know there is the 1-drop or 2-drop where when you play your second spell that turn, you create a 1/1 spirit. I don't know if that's enough to make this a big deal. Once again, I'm not the smartest, the brightest Magic player, but I think this is gonna be a fun card to have, but it's not gonna be like, you know, something that every Boros color needs to have. Then this is a commander card, which I'm gonna start playing commander. This is the Reconstructor. So 4-drop Boros colors, legendary giant artificer with 4/4. So that's pretty cool with vigilance. And you can pay 1, sacrifice an artifact. Target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So it's all right. Or you can pay X, tap this creature, exile an artifact with exile an artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard. Create 2 tokens that are copies of the exile card. Activate only as a sorcery. So that's gonna be fun to do. I can already think of some exciting artifacts in historic. In standard, I'm not sure. Once again, maybe they have more artifacts to reveal with this set, but I'm not sure if there's a lot of artifacts you just want to create tons of copies. But I mean, I'm just now, this is my first time reading the card, so I haven't done too much digging. So then we have Charisma Apprentice. It colors Shaman 2/2. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Charisma Apprentice can't be blocked this turn. If that spell has mana value 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter. Nah, bruh. It's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you just get 1/+1 and it's only a 2. I don't know. You ain't gonna be bruh. I don't know. You tell me what you think. I mean, value 5 or greater. If it was 3 or greater, maybe. But 5 or greater, bro, like, you better play this on turn 4 and do your craziness after that. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Then we have Storm Kiln Artist. So 4-drop, 2/2. I don't know, bro. 2/2, and it gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. So treasure tokens are artifacts, so that's the thing here. It says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. So this might work with the dwarves build, but I guess, I don't know. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna create some crazy aggro to go along with the other dwarves in the gold span dragon. But other than that, bro, like a 2/2, bro, nah. All right, we have Safari Thunder Conductor, bro. That's my brother right there. That bro, like, pam. All right, so 4-drop, 1/4. So once again, this is a commander, so commander's got to be, you know, a little bit higher in toughness, I guess. And it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, scry 1. That helps. If that spell's mana value is 5 or greater, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. If that spell's mana value is 10 or greater, Zafari deals 10 damage to an opponent chosen at random. So if you're only playing one opponent, guess who that's gonna be? That's gonna be your ass. All right, so this one right here is actually pretty good. This actually encourages a player to have 5 or 10 mana cost value cards in their library. Like, that's actually pretty cool. Let's go to the next one here. All right, we have Quandrix Apprentice is blue-green. I don't know those two colors. I'll figure that out later. But it's a 2/2. Once again, that toughness, bro. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom. Come on, man. He's doing the whole math thing. He's looking at the space, and I don't know. If you could put that land onto the battlefield tapped, then we talking. But if you look at 3 cards and 2 of the cards is cards that you might need, and you only could put a land into your hand and you're already flooding out, that's not gonna work. Bro. All right, we got Silver Quill Apprentice, black-white. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I don't think that's gonna work, bro. I mean, for drafting, yes, that works. But other than that, that's not gonna see. Bro, Bolt is back. Bolt is back. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna cut it, bro. Now this one here is one of my favorites. And if you're part of the Facebook community that I am building up, go ahead and check the link down below. This one right here matched up with another card. I'm not gonna say it here. You're gonna have to do some Facebook reading. It's a 4-drop legendary merfolk wizard, which helps wizards. 2/2, and it has ward, which is another mechanic. It says whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. Now, of course, you're gonna have opponents that won't read that ability and just go ahead and try to shock this and don't have the extra mana to pay for it, and it gets countered. That's gonna be funny. But it says if 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So once again, I already have an annoying token creator just for this card, and hopefully it works. So yeah, enough said. One of my favorite cards so far. Then you have Brina, the Demagogle. I don't know. It's a bird warlock. It's a 3-drop. This is commander. Yes. 1/3. Once again, I guess it says whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, whenever a player attacks one of your opponents. So I guess you got to be playing more than just one person. I guess if that opponent has more life than another opponent, yeah, put 2 counters on a creature you control. So I don't know how this would work if you're just playing against one person, or maybe that counts as yourself. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see. But other than that, I mean, you can put counters onto this creature and make it worthwhile. But other than that, this is gonna get bolted to hell. Like, all right, we have Wither Bloom Apprentice, black green, 2/2, and says whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this will help with the life gain type builds. It has green, so that's gonna be kind of interesting. But once again, I have high hopes for this card. I actually do like this one, especially for historic, but with it being toughness 2, that's going to be an uphill battle. Then we have Willow Dusk Essence Seer. It's a 3-drop. Once again, this is a commander, and with 3/3, and you can pay 1, tap this creature, and it says choose another target creature. So not this one. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gain this turn, or the amount of life you lost this turn. Whichever is greater, activate only as a sorcery. So interesting. That actually does help with the other card that we just seen. So I guess that kind of plays off each other. But I mean, if your opponent made you lose 10, guess what? Now a creature has 10 +1 counters. So I actually might be playing this in historic. Boom, I done said it. And we already discussed that one. So once again, if you guys have any suggestions or any questions, I don't know if I can ask questions like that, but tell me what you guys think about the cards that were spoiled today. Did you like it? Did you love it? Do you think it's gonna actually be worth getting in paper? Because I am doing 2 giveaways. I already done placed my pre-orders like 20-30 minutes ago. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe so you can learn the details of those giveaways. Once again, it's your boy Black Hammer, and I will see you in the next spoilers. Peace.